of it. She said the men she can deal with, but the women she hates. Hi, good morning. She hates them. I say she hates them. No,
We're
just
live. We're
good
live.
morning.
Good morning.
All right, so I have to laugh. Actually, you know what? I'm going to send this picture to myself because my friend just sent it to me
Oh yeah.
and she got the idea from me. So I'm going to put it up because you guys can probably, a good portion of you can relate to these. That's the funny part about it. I can find Yep, here we go. Whoop, whoop, there it is.
All right.
But anyway, good morning.
It's not a typical morning, is it?
How bad are you? How bad is it where
could
you
be,
are?
it could be a lot worse kind of a morning.
Yes, that's a good way of putting
what
it.
are you guys making all this fuss about kind of a morning? But it's also better safe than sorry kind of a morning too, with all the potential weather, the weather that's happening, and how close the system really is to us. We're talking about Idalia.
Yep.
I'm just gonna try to get it.
I am watching the thing right here.
Radar.
I think it's out over.
Has it started moving east yet, Cindy? Do you know?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm watching the Weather Channel here at the moment. Now, Surf City, North Carolina, it's 72 degrees and has a very angry ocean.
Okay.
I can see it. It is almost. We're live on Facebook. Come on in.
Are you? It's just Cliff. Cliff, are you just fishbowling it
This
through,
is
through the window?
Hi, it's Curtis.
This is Curtis.
Curtis, come on in.
The man, the myth, the mirror, the mirror, the myth.
There
Right there.
he is.
See,
Hi
look.
there.
There's Curtis.
You may have seen Curtis in like Jimmy's Seafood Buffet.
You may have.
Any Saturday this summer.
You may have seen him
Except for the one when we were there.
You may have seen him at Roanoke Island Festival Park. Good morning, Victoria.
Hi, good morning, Victoria.
Say good morning to Curtis, would you?
Yeah, you hear his voice all the time and you don't realize it.
You do. R.A. Hoy.
Yeah, R.A. Hoy, heating and air
conditioning.
Yes, that's the man. That's the that's the voice.
Here I am.
He does exist. He is real.
They do exist.
You're in the building this morning early because you're filling in for
96.7 the coast.
Here, you know what? Then you don't have to bend over.
Here we go. I am 6'4".
Yeah. Here. Then let me do this. Ready? I'll even go back higher.
Oh boy.
Then you can stand up.
So,
and I'll just kind of peek. Yeah, look.
What's the word on the street? You've been outside.
Yeah, so there's some flooding in the area. I'm not sure about Collington though. I'm trying to get some information on Collington Road.
We have Beth, and we are hopefully she will be joining us here, and she will give us an update because she lives on Collington Road, and her husband works in Manio, so he will drive out Collington Road.
Okay.
So hopefully.
Perfect.
Oh, you haven't met Curtis yet. Okay, Curtis, this is Foy. Foy, this is Curtis.
Hi, Foy. I believe I see Foy's name qualifying for prizes here and there.
Yes.
Good morning, Foy.
All right, and this is funny. Oh, Victoria said hello, Curtis.
Hello.
Look what Gary wrote. He's no Shelley.
Okay.
Did you? So that's what I did yesterday.
What's that?
Gary.
Oh, you did. That's
so
right.
Yesterday morning, I woke up a little late. Grabbed a cup of coffee in one hand, and then went to do something with that hand. So I put it in my other hand. That hand had fallen asleep completely. So when I went to put it in that hand, it just dropped.
Oh.
Because I couldn't. Yeah, I had nothing going on. So it went everywhere. The floor, the wall. The coffee cup didn't break, but the coffee went everywhere. So that was my drop. Well, all right, I'm back to playing the hits over on 96.7 the coast.
All right, man.
All right.
Okay.
Good to see you, buddy.
You too. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Bye. All right, here we go. Okay, I feel really short when I stand next to that man.
He is a tall fellow.
He's very tall. He worked here years ago. Well, 6 or 7 years ago. Is that right? Is when he was gone.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the weather, a little bit about the traffic, and some of the other crazy stuff that is going on and it's not going on. So we'll see what's going on. Be right back with you.
All right, we're coming back, sort of, I think. I don't know. Who knows? Did I do this once? I think I did. Yeah. Yes.
Your station for the killer hits, 102.5, The Shark with Diana Ross and Love Hangover. Good morning to you. Got a Idalia hangover this morning. It's just
she's just hanging over the sky. Yep, she's out there.
The good news is, if you're watching the radar, this is a pivotal point in her track, is her starting to go east about 8 o'clock or 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning, towards the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Now, if she doesn't do that, well, we're going to have more of the same. But the forecast has been on track for at least 48 hours. They say that's what's going to happen, and so we're
Well,
planning on that.
this is what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
It is already 8:08,
Yeah,
and they said anywhere between 8 and 8:30 she'd be going over that way.
yeah, yeah,
If they can't figure it out that she's definitely going that way at this point,
yeah. I know,
they
but
need to
that's
retire.
Cindy, we've all been right here before, 3 or 4
I know,
times
I
with
know.
these storms, and
Uh,
we've to ask Ocracoke and Patterson, Buxton, what happens when it doesn't do what it says it's
yeah, I
gonna do?
know, I know.
Suddenly they get flooded.
Well, she's moving north or east northeast at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, so whatever happens, it'll be quick.
And oh, looking at that little radar thing, it looks like she's off the coast.
All right, well, let's kind
I think.
of sigh of relief on that if that's the case. But what we got to deal with in the meantime for the next few hours or half a day or
Well,
so.
tropical storm warning, coastal flood warning, high surf advisory, flood watch in effect, and there's also a flash flood warning for Dare and Hyde County till about 9:15 or so, and then in Currituck County till around at 12:30. Expect rain, heavy at times, possible thunderstorms, but pretty much rain throughout the day. Gusty winds up to 50 miles an hour. At on the normal time though, it'll be like 35 to 40-mile-an-hour winds and temp-wise high of 77. Clearing out a little bit tonight with some partly cloudy conditions, 72, and then tomorrow sunshine, still kind of breezy, 80, winds gusting up to 36 miles an hour.
All right, 76 in Hatteras, 74 in Edenton, and we got 77 in Nags Head at 102.5 in Shark. Stick around. We got a chance for you to win again in the next 10 minutes with bow time, of course.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And of course, today in music and more killer hits coming up right here.
On 102.5.
The show.
I didn't know you couldn't talk. I'm sorry.
Can't you see I'm dying over
No, I was looking at the stuff over there. He's over there
You
dying.
guys see that?
And
I'm doing everything but hit her. She's like,
and I was just sorry. I was watching dude up on the Weather Channel. I was looking to see where the thing was.
Yeah.
All right, he's in Cedar Key, and yeah, you can see where it like just destroyed stuff. Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Sometimes you get a frog in your throat that's having babies.
Yes, little
This is a
tadpoles.
typical morning.
That date is actually tomorrow, boy.
What's the date
Um,
tomorrow?
I think I got my word. Hold on, tomorrow
Yeah.
is September 1st. 1
It
year.
is. We're talking Marco here.
Uh-huh.
I really wasn't going to mention that today on the air because we got so many other things too. But tomorrow, obviously, we cannot not talk a
Right.
little bit about Marco because it will have been 1 year since Marco passed away. And it's been a busy month here at the radio stations. And you 3 or 4 days go by and you go, it's coming, it's coming,
And then all of a sudden, whoa, it's here tomorrow.
it's here
Yes.
tomorrow. I can't tell you how many times a day, a week that all of us end up talking about it or something.
He came up in conversation yesterday. Somehow I was talking to somebody.
Then it came up.
Oh, I was talking to well, who was I talking to? No, yeah, we were talking to somebody. We were talking to Curtis, I think, or I was talking to Hunt Thomas last night, even, who he works over at Manual High School, does the football games and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
He's a well-known name around here, but I was chatting with him last night for a while, and somehow Marco's name came up.
Wow. Well, here's the way I feel about it as far as doing a memorial to tomorrow. I don't think I want to do that. And I think it's the day he passed away. But I want to acknowledge it because, it's what happened.
Right. Do we really want to celebrate the passing of somebody a year?
No, but
I
will
kind
tell
of
you,
understand
what's
with you.
been up on our website all year
Mhm.
is still there.
We still miss him. We'll
I
always miss him.
urge you guys, if you want to take a break in, think about Marco today, tomorrow, any day. Just click on that banner that comes across on our website that has this picture of it. And you can go there and you can still watch a couple of things.
I believe. Hold on, let me double check before I I don't want to overstep my bounds. And by the way, yes, Gary, Cynthia does have her word ready. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, he said Cynthia. Do you have your word
Oh,
ready?
he said it first.
Yes, so I'm saying yes,
Okay.
Cynthia. Where'd it go? In case you missed it, where did Marco go? Oh, there he is. Marco St. John, you will be missed. It says leave a reply. I don't know why we're leaving a reply.
But as far as what we do here, you guys and us between 8 and 8:30, if you want to talk about him today and tomorrow, that is just fine. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. That's kind of what this is about. We have something kind of planned every day. But if there's something else that you guys want to talk about, you guys can drive this particular part of the show. That's the cool part about it.
Correct.
So, yeah, we do know that tomorrow's the date. I don't know. We'd be glad to talk about some things that we've never talked about before. I think it's been long enough that I can tell you how that day went for us individually. Those kind of things.
I was on a boat.
You were on the boat?
I was on the boat.
Yeah.
I don't remember
you guys were on your crabbing boat?
We were on our crabbing boat. We were down near Wanchese. We were doing the cut through, and it was somebody else was with us. It was Mr. D, Baby Huey, and one of his friends. I don't remember who it would have been.
Right.
But we were there, and Lori called me.
Lori is our general sales manager.
She's the one that calls me Sandy and Beal Beal.
Yeah. She does work at Women's Wednesday.
Yes, and then I try, and she also
she's
bingo,
she's
music bingo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, I was like I was going to say basket bingo, but it's music bingo. But she called me, and I tried calling Bill. Of course, Bill was sleeping; didn't have his phone turned up.
No, not
Or
actually.
you were at the grocery store.
When I go in the grocery store, I turn my phone down. But yeah.
But no, so I ended up calling Mrs. Thomas, where she works, and she called him, and then finally he called. He's like, "All right, Rick called me, Lori called me, Cindy called me, Sheila called me."
Ray Turner.
Everybody
he
called.
texted me, Bill 911, Bill 911 call quick. I'm thinking, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
And finally, the phone rang, and our owner, Mr. Lesh, he says, "Bill, where are you, man?" I said, "What? Just left the grocery store in the car. Marco was killed in the car."
I know. That still blows my mind.
So that's how I found out. But that's the personal part of the day. Everybody's got a part of that. When you find out something's happened to somebody you love. And so that was a tough part. Thinking. And the funny thing was, Marco had been sick. He hadn't been working a lot in this couple of weeks before the car wreck. And we were, not many people know this, we were building him a studio in his apartment. We were gathering and ordering things that he might need so he could continue to do some work for us because he didn't want to stop working. Obviously, he wasn't at full speed, but Marco, he was a trooper. And so we were doing that, and some things come in. I was going to have a conversation with him that day about that, and I couldn't. He wouldn't answer his phone, and it started going straight to voicemail. And I thought about it. I thought,
that was that morning because it happened around 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I was like, well, I guess don't talk to him today. I'll talk to him tomorrow. That's what you take for granted.
Right.
You don't always know. But that's my story,
I like Mark Gary's suggestion here. This is kind of cool.
It is. That's absolutely a great idea.
Kind of like my big one that says Toasty on it, like my soup mug thing. But yeah,
would you guys be offended if we did a larger cup? I think it would be appropriate for Marco. I think he'd think it was hysterical.
Yeah.
Just like the Marco on there, there he is.
Well, think about it. He would have his iced tea, and it would be a huge cup of iced tea.
Exactly.
I mean, huge cup of iced tea. And he would have at least one of those a day.
Yeah.
Really big.
You guys realize when we start brainstorming, like we're like a little team here, just like it happens in any office. We're working on something, and it comes together. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do it tomorrow.
Right.
But these are all ideas that we put together.
Great idea. And they go on. We have like a little folder, and no, it's not the circular folder on the ground.
But you add to it, and when we get together for the meeting, you say, well, okay, how can we make this happen? You guys have contributed, and we can't thank you guys enough.
Right.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So,
Pictures and memories are always good. And it's
yeah,
actually kind of humorous. I have, well, until these little things came along, and that thing right there.
right.
Um, remember taking your film and getting it developed,
I sure do.
and then you'd come back, and we are team from 8 to 8. We are 100% a team.
Yeah.
But remember when you would take all these pictures, and then you'd get them back, and like three-quarters of them would be blurry.
Yep.
I hated it
I know
because,
you didn't
well,
know.
the one, like, if you got the disposable cameras, because a lot of people would do disposable cameras.
True.
But by the time you push the button, I mean, literally, you would go like, and it would move the camera when you push the button.
Right.
I had a little Kodak Instamatic thing that had the little square thing, flashy bulb on the top that you could take off or whatever. But when you'd click it, it would go clink, and you'd move the
Oh,
camera
yeah.
because you couldn't. It wasn't just it was a
Oh,
clink.
goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Great.
So they were blurry, and I hated that. Sorry, we're okay.
No, that's fine. I'm getting some music together.
But
Sometimes
then
I
I'm
have to sit
thinking,
here
all
and
right, I have all these pictures. My mom has all these photo books, photo albums, album after album after album after. What am I going to do with those?
oh, digitize them? Is that what you're trying to do? There's an app,
Oh,
No?
I, but what am I'm just literally, my mother has, like, she has this wall unit in her living room, and there's a shelf. Am I exactly? Can you see this hand over here? No, not really. Okay, anyway, there's a shelf that's probably this wide, and it is full of photo albums. Album after album after album after album after. Do you know how long it would take to scan all those and digitize all of them? And plus she has a box that still has all the little
It's
pretty,
amazing.
the little paper envelope thingies that they
Yes.
came in that had the light blue in the background with the little pictures on it. Yeah,
Right.
she has all those, and she wrote on the front of each one, like, um Niagara Falls, July 1976.
Wow.
What, and she literally would take like two or three rolls of film. My Aunt Millie was even worse. And
Aunt
it's like,
Millie? Yeah,
what?
Aunt Millie.
Yeah, okay, pass them on to the next in line, which fine, but my brother's daughter, my niece, she would probably be like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely, I'll
no.
take them."
Oh,
Oh no,
no.
what happened?
Can you run and
Save?
save? Yeah. I'll start with the weather. Caught in a jam. That kind of morning, folks. Kid you not. All right. Your station for the Killer Hits 102.5. The Shark. It's Eric Clapton and Tears in Heaven. Good morning to you. Bill and Cindy, good morning. Killer Hits all day. It's 8:21 on a soggy, windy, one of those kind of days. And, we get whatever this is, Tropical Storm Idalia, just to the south of us, starting to move just ever so slowly to the east. And it's going to give us a little cover for the rest of the Outer Banks, which is good. But we got that tropical storm warning still in effect. Coastal flood warning, high surf advisory, flood watch, which has turned into a flash flood watch for part of the area. That would include, I think, Carteret County, Dare County, Hyde County, and Currituck counties today. So a lot to look out for, especially if you're traveling today. There's no doubt about that. But other than that, we're looking to rain heavy at times, some possible thunderstorms thrown in, then rain for the afternoon. High still rather warm, 77, winds 35 to 40 miles per hour, and maybe wind gusts up to 50. And it looks like the wind won't run out of here
No,
until sometime tomorrow. It starts
absolutely,
slowing down just a little bit.
100%.
Definitely.
Just real quick,
Yep.
we have the Weather Channel on here in our studio, so that way we can kind of keep up and make sure we're on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Currituck County, North Carolina, spelled the same as Currituck, but with an A instead of a U?
There may. We'll have to look and see.
Because they're either that or they did a typo.
Oh, really?
Because there's some guy they're interviewing from Currituck County, and I have no idea where that is.
I wouldn't put it past them, so we'll have to look and see what's going
Okay.
on there.
All right. Sorry.
But
I
we got
digress.
temps right now. We got 76 in Grandy, 75 in Elizabeth City, 77 in Nags Head, and 102.5 The shark.
Today in Music Moments, it's brought to you by Tap That OBX. Open until 9 p.m. with your favorite beers, bourbons, and tequilas. Free pool, foosball, and shuffleboard too. Come hang out and relax with friends in their new laid-back space in Kitty Hawk at Tap That OBX.
All right, it was 2006. The Times of London ran a story on the demands of rock stars when on tour.
Oh, I've heard some crazy stories.
These are some I haven't heard yet. So Ozzy Osbourne insists on, or did at one time, on an eye, an ear, and a nose and throat doctor at each venue. I was a little worried
Wait,
that this would be
what?
just the pieces, but no, it's the doctor. The Beach Boys require a licensed masseur. Is that like a massage?
Masseuse.
Masseuse?
Yeah, like a masseuse, a monsieur.
But anyway, Meatloaf, he, when he was alive, wanted a mask and one small tank of oxygen.
Well, I
Uh,
could see where he would need it.
David Bowie requested that the dressing room temperature be between 57 and 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And Paul McCartney, he must have a large arrangement of white Casablanca lilies in his dressing room. Mick Jagger must have an onstage teleprompter with the lyrics to all the songs and the name of the city in which they are performing. Smart guy, actually.
That's probably the smartest thing, but a lot of these, which I read from Van Halen used to do this, they would put like just green M&Ms in their dressing room. That was what they demanded. They weren't being divas.
Right.
They were making sure that the venue that they were going to work at or going to perform at actually read their
Oh,
contracts.
interesting.
That was the little test. If there were all colors of M&Ms, they knew, okay, they didn't read this, so they're not quite sure of what our safety requirements are for this particular stage
Right.
piece, for that, for this. Yeah, so it was to protect their butts, basically.
All right. 2002, NASA announced that Lance Bass,
Oh,
singer with NSYNC at the
uh-huh.
time, was to become the first celebrity astronaut. His
Wow.
bill was going to be $23.8 million to be on the Russian module, which would make him the youngest person then at 23 years of age to go into orbit. Bass ended up not taking part in the flight after failing to pay the $20 million ticket on the crash.
Oh, wow.
So he said, "Will you take a check?"
Yeah, it's in the mail. In 1995, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum opened in Cleveland, right near one of our listeners, Gary. I'm
Gary,
sure he
yeah.
sees it from time to time. City was argued to be the birthplace of rock, beginning in the rooms of radio station WMMS,
Mm-hmm.
where disc jockey Alan Freed coined the
That's right.
term rock and roll in the early 1950s.
And if you guys really wanted to learn more about that story, there's an old movie called American Hot Wax. You might find it somewhere online. That'll tell that whole story right there. It's a pretty good one. I know it because I'm a radio geek.
I was going to say, I thought my head was full of like
Yeah, well,
stuff,
that's not
but yours
useless.
is
I learned a lot from that movie. But anyway,
okay. 1987, Michael Jackson's Bad video was televised for the first time on CBS TV.
okay.
And in 1974, The Partridge Family ended the TV
Oh,
show. That's sad.
that is awful. Music birthdays for you today. Gabby,
Gabby Gibson.
yep,
Yep,
Gabby
Gabby
Gibson,
Gibson.
the great American singer from the 80s, better known as Debbie Gibson. He's 53 years old today.
Gina Shock, the drummer with the Go-Go's, is 66.
I am dyslexic music artist.
Glenn Tilbrook from Squeeze, he's the guitarist and a singer. He is 66. And the one and only
Man Morrison.
Man
He
Morrison.
celebrated a birthday today. He is 70. That's that's today in music. Time for bow time. Time for qualifying. Time to qualify for a two-piece chicken dinner from Joe Bagels. Just text the word "dab."
No, he means bad.
That's what I said.
B-A-D.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Lord have
Let
mercy.
me
Too
do
much
my
coffee
headset.
for you. B-A-D is the word you need to text to qualify for that two-piece chicken dinner from Bojangles.
All right. News and weather together coming up in 10 minutes. We're killer hits on the way too.
Lord help us. Carrot Tuck. Okay. All right. So there is a Carrot Tuck. Cool. All right. Hold on here. Pass them. Oh, yeah. Okay. So all right, real quick. All right. So Gary said pass them on the next line. My daughter, Jacqueline, who is 27, almost 28 years old, she has no desire to have any of that stuff.
Right.
Pictures. I mean, like for instance, my aunt Mildred, my aunt Millie, she was awesome. She died at 94 in 2017. She Currituck is located just south of Davenport. I don't know Currituck. Sorry. I know Currituck. That's Outer Banks. Currituck is not. Anyway, um, so my Aunt Millie would literally take like 15 rolls of film per vacation. And she and my Uncle Paul, they visited every state in the United States except for Washington and Oregon. Why those two were the only two they didn't go to, I don't know. But she was in Alaska, she was in Hawaii, every other state. She was in 48 of the 50 states. She would take like, oh, look at that pretty azalea. Oh, look at that tree. You know, it means nothing to me. Why do I want to keep it? Does that make sense? They were her memories of her vacation,
Right.
not my memories of my vacation.
Oh, I see. I got
You
you.
know, and what is the significance of somebody's azalea bush? What am I going to do with that picture? I don't care. Oh, look, it's a fire hydrant that's orange and pink.
But that was in front of Uncle Bob's house.
Who's Uncle Bob? Oh, well, he was your great, 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 great uncle's dentist's mother.
Okay.
You know, it's like, wait, Uncle Bob was? Anyway,
And you
yes,
always
Ruth.
wanted to be a fireman.
Ruth, please be careful. You should be. It should be okay. By the time you get here, it should be okay. Just drive slow when you get to the water. I mean, it is moving out. It will be kind of going up and out. The 3-hour satellite showing it almost out of here. Actually, not too long from now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But it's not going far. So some of the effects, the wind is still going to be around.
The wind is still going to be here. Yes. Um, but my daughter. Well, I will tell you that we have. All right. Back when my mom and dad got married in 1956. The thing was, you went and picked out your china pattern.
Oh, that's right.
So one person would get you the big turkey platter. One person would give you the gravy boat. One person would,
Everything you need.
and you would have everything you need for all those people that were going to come to your house and be entertained for food and dinner. And you would have that nice sit down dinner at your dining room table that sat 6 to 8 people, maybe.
Right.
That was with all the leaves in it too.
Mhm.
And of course, you had to have all the china displayed in your china closet. That doesn't have, they don't really, that's not a thing anymore.
Right.
People don't want to look at your glasses and your pretty fine china in your china closet. And my daughter, I said at one point in time, I wanted to, she's like, that's stupid, mom, you don't need one. I'm like, okay. And my daughter's very blunt. Ew, that shirt looks awful on you, mom, don't wear it again. That's how my daughter is. You have to understand. But we have my mother's fine china that she got when she was married, because my brother and I were the only 2 grandchildren out of 5 children on my mom's side. Nobody else had children. We have my mother's fine china. We have my Aunt Catherine's. We have my Aunt Millie's. We have my Aunt Millie's husband's mother's china. We have my grandmother's china. We have my great aunt's china, my other great aunt's china. We literally have like 7 or 8 different full sets of fine china.
So you guys have a china room.
Well,
Pretty
they're
much.
they're in boxes in one bill, and then
Oh, wow.
my mom's is still all in her. Well, she had them stored in like a wall unit thing that she had. She didn't have. She had a couple of things on display, but they're all stored in. It's like, what are we gonna do with? We don't have. We. What am I gonna use fine china for? Um. Yeah, I mean, I now. Yeah, my mom, her silver, that I can use. The forks and knives, I will
Yeah.
definitely 100% take that. I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Gary. I know. When I go up there next time, I have to go in her closet and get it because I totally forgot about that. She's got a nice like drawer and everything,
Mhm.
like little cat, like yeah. Um, but yeah, it's just I. But my daughter, my Jackie especially, she doesn't want any. She's like, Mom, I don't need fine china. Why? I
Right.
don't need all and glasses, glassware, stemware. You know, and now, granted, I mean, well, see, yeah, you're trying, and it's 50 years. Yeah, my mom, they got married in 1956, so hers would be about 65. My grandmother's was even from like the 1910s or something. Who
Right.
knows? But we even have like some Waterford crystal, like, and that's great. But what am I really going to do with it? I mean, I know it's worth money, and it's, but what am I going to do? That's the what am I going to do? Yeah, my grandmother's silverware. I yes, her my we have my grandmother. I have my grandmother's silverware still. Her Yeah, her sterling you had to polish it and everything else because it would
Yeah,
tarnish,
right.
and then you would have to put on the little napkins and then the crystal drinking glasses, and yeah. I probably could. I was thinking of that. Aw, Perrin lost all that in the fire. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Tracy,
wow.
yeah, and I had Beth is also one of our listeners, not Bethy, but Beth. We played a song for her.
Yeah.
She listens in Winchester too, Tracy. I don't know if you guys know each other or not, but she
Yeah.
remembers the one, the only Mr. Barry Lee, and she remembers Chuck Carroll from Winchester Radio too.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Perry,
but
did you have a house fire?
yeah,
I didn't
she did.
know that.
Yeah. She
Was it in
said
Southern Shores or was it some other place?
it was. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Where did you tell us about that?
Was that today?
Yeah, I lost all my moms in a house fire in 2018.
Oh,
Yep,
oh,
I
shit.
believe that. Yeah, house fires, they don't really spare much.
Well,
Um,
yeah, because
no, the silverware I don't want to sell. I'm not selling the silverware. I'm keeping that. But no, I mean like all the fine china, and she's got antique bowls and I mean just
sure.
tons of stuff. And my aunts, both, well, especially my Aunt Millie, not my Aunt Catherine, but my Aunt Millie, you could not get rid of anything.
Had to
When
keep it all, huh?
Now, granted, she lived in a nursing home with my mom
Oh,
for probably 3 years,
okay.
maybe towards the end, maybe 2 years. I don't know how long it was. She wasn't there long, but she literally, when we were cleaning out her townhouse after she passed away, because she had
Yep.
a nice little two-story townhouse that she bought, I was finding newspapers from like 1990 in her den. She had a stack of newspapers.
That's hysterical.
Well, she didn't get a chance to read them yet, so she was holding on to them until she could read
Right.
them. Well, I'm sorry, when it's 2013, news from 1990 is not news. Sorry. But I mean, yeah. Um, yeah, no, you're not having Cynthia's silverware set. No, you are not.
Right.
No, no, no,
Right.
no. The silver I am keeping. But literally, seriously, I mean, and my mom's, I can still see it in my mind. I can see her. It's got the little like
Yeah.
one set she has silver trim like all around the edge. Another one has gold trim all around. It's beautiful. But no, I have no use for it. I have nowhere to store it either.
Wow.
And then when I store it, it's gonna if I put it up in the attic, all right, my daughter's gonna have to take it down from the attic when she cleans out the house after I die.
Exactly.
So it's like, what are we gonna do with all this stuff?
Kind of crazy.
Remember things here and keep them on here and give people the access to your Google Cloud or your Apple Cloud or whatever the
Yeah.
heck it is.
Right.
Then they can go back and look at the pictures that they want to, and they're up there and they don't take up actual space, just through here.
I
Anyway,
understand where you're coming from there. And I
yeah,
agree with that in some part, but also,
you keep a lot of stuff.
well, I think the pictures, and I, I got the family pictures from my father's side of the family.
Who got the family Bible though? That's the question.
I got a bunch of family Bibles.
I have a
I
bunch
got
too.
I have a grandmother's Bible, a
Uh-huh.
father's
Mhm.
Bible, my mother's Bible,
Uh-huh.
and my grandfather's Bible. I got all of those. So isn't that crazy?
That is very
But
crazy.
no, the pictures sometimes they're already
Uh,
left in photo albums, and my family, whoever was responsible for it on my father's side, did a really good job. You know, the technology is going to change, and I'm worried about, if I hand them down to my kids, are how long are these photos going to
are they not
last?
turning yellow yet?
No, no, so the paper and stuff is. Listen,
Mhm.
I've got postcards. It used to be in like the 1920s. It was a postcard world. You sent postcards to everybody.
Everybody.
There's books of them, and they're beautiful. They're not just a slab picture. Wish you were here. These things are intricate. They're art. They're really pretty. Things like that.
When my aunt died, we found love letters that her and my uncle Paul were writing back and forth to each other in the 30s.
Oh wow,
And I think I even found something that my grandmother wrote to my grandfather.
that's pretty cool.
And I'm like, now that's kind of, but it's like, but uh, when I look at it, I mean, and I have a lot of stuff I save. I mean, I saved all my stuffed animals. They were in bags at my mom's house. I think they still are. But I mean, I save like everything, everything. But again, why? What am I going to do with it?
Well, it depends on. Everybody's a little different. You know what I do sometimes? On a day like today, if I didn't have to work
Hmm.
today and it was like this outside, This would be a candidate for let's get those boxes out and go back through some of that stuff. I'm nostalgic,
But
very.
then you would put it back in the box though and put it
Put it back
away
away.
until 4
Next
years from now,
time.
and there's another rainy day.
Right.
In
But at
the
least it's
meantime,
there. I'm thankful it's there.
though, this box is taking up space.
Well, that's okay. What are you gonna put in its place? A bunch of coffee mugs that you think Gary might like?
You got those too. But I mean, my daughter brought it up. She's like, "Mom,
No, I got you.
it
What
just
are you
makes no
doing,
sense."
Jane?
Are we? We're not letting it roll. We could let it roll. We've only got 19 seconds,
Well, you're right. You're right.
and then we'll just do a weather afterwards.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. I just my daughter got me thinking, and then after cleaning out my aunt's and my other aunt's houses and my uncle's house, and
Right.
now we're gonna have to go through all the stuff at my mom's house. There's just too much stuff. I mean, I still have until maybe 5 years ago, I had my prom dresses.
Okay.
Why? I had almost every single test and paper that I had I used gift boxes and I would put my daughter's papers in, like from school, and they each had 2 gift boxes full of stuff. Why? They were just papers. Why?
Nothing
Why was I
really
saving it?
special about them.
No, they were. Oh, look, she got an A+ on this math test in 7th grade. What? Why? It doesn't matter. Anyway, hey, I represent that, Mark. I consider it exactly. That's what we ended up doing at my uncle's house. We got a big dumpster, and we even threw away jelly that my grandmother had made that was still there. Anyway, we're still talking, and I'm running on. I'm going on and on.
You got it? Okay. All right. It is. It is 8:39. Villa City with you in the morning. Killer hits all day. And news and weather together being brought to you by OB Express Car Wash. It's brought to you, of course, by OB Express Car Wash in Kitty Hawk, where you can leave the beach at the beach, home of the exclusive undercarriage wash, 4011 North Crowtown Highway in Kitty Hawk.
The time is 8:40, and this is your forecast. There is a tropical storm warning, a coastal flood warning, a high surf advisory, a flood watch in effect, and a flash flood warning for Dare and Hyde counties till 9:15, Currituck County until 12:30 this afternoon. Expect some rain, heavy at times, possible thunderstorms, high 77, winds 35 to 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Tropical storm conditions continuing into tonight, then gradually becoming partly cloudy down to 72, mostly sunny, but breezy tomorrow, high near 80, with winds still gusting around 36 miles an hour.
All right, 71 right now in Ahoskie, 74 in Moayak, and 77 in Nagshead at 102.5. The Shark.
You don't want your exactly. Oh, look, Gary, 5 more minutes. Oh, she's working on something. Gary, I represent that remark. No, we did. We got a dumpster for my uncle, and literally we found grape jelly that my grandmother had made. It had the wax on the top of the whatever she put that, and then she put the lid on it. But who knows how old that stuff was? No, yeah, we're talking Gary here. Bill needed a weather sponsorship, like the copy that he had to read. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then I happened to look and see what it was. I'm like, "Wait, I've got that." So that's why I jumped up real quick because I knew I only had like
Right, she
10
has a
seconds
stack
to
of
get it.
papers just over to her.
Yeah, yeah. I have like for my talking points and stuff or
Right.
whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I knew I had it in that stack. And as soon as I saw what it was, I'm like, "Oh, I didn't put it back." Because I stole it from him yesterday. Because see, I'm filling in for Ray again today.
Right.
Say Thursday. Wednesday.
Today is Thursday.
Today is Thursday. Okay, so today is supposed to be my final day filling in for Ray, but I'm not gonna count out tomorrow. Who knows. But yeah, so I had it and I needed it yesterday for a weather forecast that I did, so I knew and I just had it in my pile because I didn't think we'd had it recently. But evidently we did. But yeah, so that's why I shot out of the chair real quick. Yeah, but I just don't want to leave all this junk for my kids to go through because we're doing that now.
Sure.
And that's what's I guess.
Well, here's a wonderful thing you could do. Have I guess your brother,
Mhm.
everybody's kids. Is there anything you want now?
Oh yeah. We've
You
already we've
know?
been there, done that. Well, that's another thing. See, like my niece, she wanted my aunt's china closet
Right.
and her dining room table.
Yeah.
My niece has been in her house for 4 years now. The china closet that she wanted for my aunt who passed away in 2015. No, Aunt Millie was 2017. It is still in my mom's big garage that she has at her house.
But she still wants it.
But she still wants it. But
Yeah.
it's been sitting there since 2017.
Yep.
But she wants it.
Yep.
I mean,
That's where
that's
it's going to stay, but it's hers.
oh, 3 minutes. Oh,
Realize it.
What?
3 minutes to go. He wants
Yeah, I
us to go
know.
till 8:45.
Yeah.
That's what it. Okay, now I'm
No,
picking up.
we
All
can't
right.
stay that long. We got it. I'm just teasing.
We got a couple more minutes here. No,
Right on.
actually, Bill, I think, is wanting to go heat up his breakfast. What? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, exactly. No, we do. But like seriously, my daughter's like, Mom, just get rid of it because I don't want to have to go through it and clean it up and get rid of it. She goes, and if it's been in that box for all those years and you have no idea what's in that box, then you don't need it. And she kind of makes a point because I will go to my mom's house. I have a lot of stuff at my mom's house and like storage and her whatever. And they have a separate garage. They used to have a motorhome, and so my dad built a garage for the motorhome. And now they don't have the motorhome, obviously, because they're not here anymore. So the garage, my brother puts his bass boat in there now, but it's big. It's cinder block, and has electricity, heat, and all that stuff. And there's just stuff that is there that it's like my little storage unit
Right.
that I don't have to pay for every month. But I don't have a lot of stuff, but I do have enough stuff that it's just like, what's in this box? And that's when my daughter goes, Mom, if you don't know what's in that box and you haven't looked in that box for 10 years, then it doesn't matter. Get rid of it. And she kind of has a point.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. We're doing that after I change batteries in the clock.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea, Gary. Real good idea.
All right, wait, what are we doing?
You mean what are we doing?
What are we doing after he
Oh.
changes the batteries in the clock? Yes. Oh, well, that's true. That 100% true.
Yeah.
That's especially with clothes. It's like, I'm never going to wear this again. I'm going to donate it to just trying to clean up and rotate the wardrobe around a little
That's
bit,
right.
get rid of some of the older stuff that you haven't worn in years. And as soon as you get rid of it, I know I had a pink shirt. And you're like, oh no, I just took it last week and donated it every single time. Every single time. Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna clean out stuff after you change the batteries in the clock? Yeah, okay.
Gary's got a handle on it, man.
Yeah,
He really
he ain't
does.
changing the batteries in the clock.
He does.
He was
Yeah.
supposed to change the batteries in the clock like a week and a half ago. Remember? It's the same clock that it took him
Yeah.
6 months to hang up in the washing
Has
room.
it been 6 months
It was
already?
it was six it well, it was supposed to be 6 months. Or he said it had taken him 6 months to finally hang it.
Right. That's so funny. All right, gang. Guess what
All
we
right.
made it to? Guess what we did today?
We made it to 8:46.
8:46.
All right.
All right, look. We're gonna roll. We got a bazillion little things to do.
I have one thing to do. This is my Lisa Marie who comes on here. She goes, "Yay, I finally get to wear them."
Oh, Lisa Marie got
Her
what?
extra tufts.
She bought some extra stuff for good.
They're just like mine.
Very cool.
She's very excited because she saw them back when she first moved here. She's like, "Oh my God, what are they? Those are so cool. I need a pair." Anyway, we did it, Perrin. Yes. You guys are great. That's why we love you.
Oh man.
All right, let's roll some credits now. You got a couple extra minutes out of us because it's almost 8:47. Anyway, all right, guys.
Talk to you tomorrow morning. It'll be Friday.
We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Labor Day weekend.
Oh wow.
How about them apples?
Today's the final day to do the barbecue because we're gonna announce a winner tomorrow, right?
That's right. But
Uh-huh.
you can still qualify for the
Backyard
seaside
barbecue.
vacation getaway through the end of the day.
And then tomorrow, then by
Tuesday
yep,
we'll announce the winner of that.
exactly. So
All right.
remember that. All right, guys.
Later.
Peace in Greece.